Silence fell over Lysoria. The once bustling kingdom now lay in a state of eerie calm. The undead plague was gone, vanquished by the bravery of its people. The stench of death faded, replaced by the scent of fresh earth and new beginnings. But victory came at a cost. The land bore the scars of battle, and the hearts of its people were heavy with loss. Scars remained, etched deep on the land and in the hearts of its people. Every corner of Lysoria held memories of the fallen. Queen Lyra, once vibrant and full of life, now bore the weight of the kingdom's sorrow on her shoulders. Her gaze, once filled with fire and determination, now held a haunting emptiness that mirrored the kingdom's grief. The castle, once alive with laughter and joy, stood as a silent sentinel, a monument to what was lost. Each stone a memory, each shadow a whisper of the fallen. The walls seemed to echo with the voices of those who once walked its halls. Lyra walked the empty halls, her footsteps echoing in the stillness. The victory felt hollow, the price too high. Lysoria was rebuilding, slowly, painfully. Each step forward was a reminder of the sacrifices made. Farmers returned to their fields, their faces etched with worry and determination. They toiled to bring life back to the land. Blacksmiths hammered out new tools, their hands calloused but steady. Each strike of the hammer was a promise of resilience. Life went on, but the shadow of the plague lingered. The people of Lysoria moved forward with caution, rebuilding their lives piece by piece. A constant reminder of what was lost and what could be again. The memory of the fallen was etched into the very fabric of the kingdom, a testament to their bravery and sacrifice. One cool evening, a rider arrived. He was cloaked in dust and fear. His news cut through the fragile peace like a north wind. "The plague," he stammered. "It was returning, stronger, more relentless." Lyra listened, her heart hardening. "Not again," she thought. "Not so soon." The rider spoke of a gathering darkness, a vortex of evil in the far north, the Void Nexus, he called it. A place where the veil between worlds thinned. The queen summoned her advisors, old men scarred by war and weary of bloodshed, but they too felt the chill of the rider's words. They knew what was at stake. Lysoria, still weak, could not survive another onslaught. They had to act, and act swiftly. Hope? They needed hope. Lyra remembered an old legend, a whisper from her childhood. The light eternal. A force of pure energy said to be capable of banishing any darkness. But it was just a story, wasn't it? The legend spoke of a hidden map entrusted to the keepers of lore, a reclusive order residing on the edge of the Whispering Woods. Lyra knew what she had to do. She would find this light eternal. She would protect her people, no matter the cost. A small band of warriors assembled. Led by Kaelen, the queen's loyal protector, they were the bravest and most skilled in the kingdom. Each bore the scars of the last war. Each carried the weight of their duty on their shoulders. They would ride north into the heart of the gathering storm. For Lysoria. Lyra watched them leave, her heart heavy. She was responsible for them, for all of Lysoria. The weight of the crown, once a symbol of pride, now felt like a leaden burden. She retreated to her chambers, seeking solace in the silence. But there was no peace to be found. Only the gnawing fear for her people, for Kaelen, for the future of her kingdom. She prayed to the ancient gods, though she had long since lost faith in their benevolence. "Give me strength," she whispered. "Give me the courage to lead my people through this darkness." A single tear rolled down her cheek. A tear for the fallen, for the trials to come, for the uncertainty that lay ahead. Lysoria needed her. She would not falter. She would not break. She was the queen. Section 5. A Glimmer of Hope. The journey north was fraught with peril. Every step they took was a gamble, a test of their endurance and willpower. The land, still scarred from the plague, seemed to resist their passage. The once fertile fields were now barren, and the air was thick with the scent of decay. Twisted trees reached for them with grasping claws, their branches like skeletal fingers. The forest was a labyrinth of shadows and whispers. The wind howled like a banshee, whispering of forgotten horrors. It carried with it the echoes of the past, a reminder of the battles fought and lives lost. But Kaelen pressed on, his resolve unwavering. He was a beacon of strength for his comrades, a symbol of hope in these dark times. They found the keepers of lore in a hidden grove, their faces etched with ancient wisdom. These elders were the guardians of forgotten knowledge, the keepers of secrets long buried. The keepers confirmed the legend. The light eternal existed. It was not just a myth, but a beacon of hope that could turn the tide of their struggle. But the path to it was perilous, leading through the heart of the void nexus itself. This was a place where reality twisted and nightmares came to life. One of the keepers, a frail woman named Alara, stepped forward. Her eyes, though aged, held a spark of determination and knowledge. She would guide them, she said. She knew the way. Her voice was steady, filled with the confidence of someone who had seen the impossible and lived to tell the tale. Kaelen looked into her eyes, saw the flicker of hope there, and he knew they had found their guide. This was the moment they had been waiting for, the turning point in their journey. They would face the darkness, and they would find the light eternal. Together, they would overcome the shadows and bring light back to their world. Section 6. The creature lunged. Kaelen met its attack head-on, his sword flashing. The battle raged, a whirlwind of steel and shadow. The warriors fought with the courage of desperation, knowing that the fate of Lysoria hung in the balance. Ilara, her voice thin but steady, began an ancient chant. The air shimmered, responding to the power of her words. She was weakening the creature, buying them time, but it wouldn't be enough. Kaelen knew what he had to do. He pushed forward, ignoring the creature's blows, his eyes fixed on the light eternal. He had to reach it. He had to unleash its power. With a final, desperate lunge, he plunged his sword into the heart of the vortex. A blinding flash of light erupted, engulfing everything. Section 8. Sacrifice. When the light faded, the creature was gone, the void nexus silent. Only Kaelen remained, impaled on his own sword, the light eternal swirling around him. He had done it. He had saved Lysoria. Alara rushed to his side, tears streaming down her face. He smiled weakly. "Tell Lyra, tell her. I kept my promise." His voice was a whisper, fading fast. The light eternal flared one last time, then flowed into him, filling him with its power. His body dissolved, becoming one with the light. Then with a sound like thunder, the light eternal erupted outward, a shockwave of pure energy that raced across the land. It washed over Lysoria, healing the land, banishing the remnants of the plague. Section 9. Legacy. In Lysoria, the people watched in awe as the sky blazed with an ethereal light. It was a sight unlike any other. A celestial display that seemed to connect the heavens and the earth in a moment of pure, unadulterated wonder. They felt the warmth spread through them, driving out the fear, the sorrow, the despair. It was as if the light itself was a balm, soothing their weary souls and filling them with a renewed sense of hope and purpose. They knew somehow that they were safe. The light was a promise, a silent assurance that the darkness had been vanquished, and that they could now look forward to a future free from the shadows of war. That Kaelen had saved them. His bravery and sacrifice had turned the tide, and now his legacy would live on in the hearts of all who had witnessed his heroism. Queen Lyra, standing on the ramparts of her castle, felt a single tear roll down her cheek. She gazed out over her kingdom. her heart swelling with a mixture of sorrow and pride. It was not a tear of sadness, but of gratitude, of pride. She knew that Kaelen's sacrifice had not been in vain, and that his spirit would continue to guide and protect Lysoria. Kaelen, her protector, her friend, had given his life for his kingdom. His courage and selflessness had ensured the safety and future of Lysoria. His sacrifice would never be forgotten. The people of Lysoria would remember him as a hero, a beacon of hope in their darkest hour. The light eternal faded, leaving behind a world reborn. The dawn of a new era had begun, one that would be shaped by the memory of Kaelen's valor. The kingdom of Lysoria, scarred but not broken, began to heal. The people, inspired by Kaelen's sacrifice, worked together to rebuild their homes and their lives. And in the heart of the city, a statue was erected in Kaelen's honor. It stood as a testament to his bravery and the enduring spirit of Lysoria, a beacon of hope, a reminder of the sacrifice he made and the love he held for his queen and his kingdom. The statue was more than just a monument. It was a symbol of resilience and unity. He was gone, but his memory, like the light eternal, would shine forevermore. The legacy of Kaelen would continue to inspire generations to come, a guiding light in times of darkness.